Good morning, children. Today we are going to start the chapter number 5, Europe. Let us recall our Earth is an planet which consists of 71% of the water and 29% of the land. And because of this 71% of the water consistent, it is called as a blue planet. In this 29% of the land is divided into 7 continents. What are the continents, children? What is a continent actually? A large land area separated by oceans is called as a continent. Like that, 7 continents are there. Yes, what are the continents, children? Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Today we are going to learn about the Europe. Europe continent is very small continent, very small continent. And which is the biggest continent, children? Asia is the biggest continent. Australia is the smallest continent. Europe is also a small continent. Now, where it is located? You all have the idea of the globe. This is the equator, children. 0 degree, this is the equator. And this is the Arctic Circle and this is the Antarctic Circle. This is the Tropic of Cancer and this is the Tropic of Capricorn. This is the Northern Hemisphere and this is the Southern Hemisphere. Europe is located in the Northern Hemisphere nearer to the poles. Mostly this continent is covered by the snow, frozen throughout the year, where agricultural lands are also very less because the climate is not suitable. Only 39% of the area is under the agriculture because the climate does not support the agriculture, as it is frozen throughout the year. This is separated by the oceans, and where this ocean is also frozen throughout the year. Many of the places like Sweden, Norway, nearly 9 to 10 months it is frozen, where the lands are not useful for the cultivation. And how? Because of the explorations, the people started discovering the different parts. Some continents are also discovered. Let me tell about the Africa. Till the 19th century, Africa is called as a dark continent. Dark means not dark in literally meaning. It is not known to the people. Many of the explorers traveled till the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert, equator passes from the Sahara Desert. Till the equator, Sahara Desert they have gone, and for vast kilometers they have found only the desert region. And they did not make any attempt to go more deeper into that. So later on, David Livingstone and Henry Stanley, these were the 2 explorers who have crossed the Sahara Desert and found Africa is having many beautiful countries. And Transvaal in South Africa is a place where gold and diamonds are available. With that availability, there was a heavy rush to the Africa. Many of the Europeans migrated from the continent, their continent, to the Africa in search of the gold and the diamonds. So here, how the people settled in the places where the rich minerals are available. And when you learn about this Europe, you think that it is not an agricultural country. Why? Because the climate doesn't support for the agriculture. India is an agricultural country. And China is an agricultural country. It supports, the climatic conditions supports these countries in order to grow the crops. Varieties of crops are grown in this. But here, this is not possible in this country. But it is very well industrially developed. And once again to recall children, what are the three sectors? Three sectors are, first one is primary sector, second one is secondary sector, and third one is services sector. Services sector. What is primary sector? Primary sector mostly agriculture, fishing, mining comes under the primary sector. They are the basic things. And secondary sector, development of the industries. Industrial sector is developed in this secondary sector. And services sector, this is a link between the primary sector and the secondary sector. For example, like if you take the jute industries or cotton industries, the raw material we are getting it from the plants where cotton plants are grown, jute plants are grown. This is a raw material which is grown in this primary sector. From there, how the industries are developed? In order to shift this raw material to the industrial sectors, we require the services sector. These plays a very, very important role between the primary sector and the secondary sector. So here, transportation, banking, insurance, hospitals, schools, PMT, post and telegraphs, all this comes under the services sector. So these play a very, very important role between the primary sector and the secondary sector. So Europe is a continent which is industrially developed. Many industries are located in this, and you call the England as workshop of the world. It is called as a workshop of the world. Why, children? Why it is called workshop of the world? Because any new invention, it starts from the Europe only. Industrial development starts at the Europe only. This is the first continent, and here England is called as a workshop of the world. Hence, in all the countries, the landforms are divided into three. What are the landforms, children? What are the landforms? It consists of the mountains, plateaus, and plains. So mountains are the places which does not support the people. People cannot live in these mountainous areas. Plateaus are the places which have the table-like land surfaces where it supports the little population there. And plains are the places where the level-lying areas where most of the people live in the plains. Why? Because this is the most suitable places. Everything is available. Like it is easy and convenient to move from one place to another place where water will be available here. And they have all the facilities of transportation where it is lacking in these mountainous areas, and plateaus have little better than the mountainous areas. So in Europe you find the Alps, Caucasian mountains, and Pyrenees mountains. These mountains almost throughout the year, they are snow-capped mountains. They are covered with the snow. They are called as snow-capped mountains. And you find the rivers which will be flowing, but most of the time they are frozen because of the very cool climate. They are frozen for a longer period of time. And these rivers are also used for the irrigation purpose, navigation, international waterways. This Europe is connected, the waterways are connected towards the Africa and also the America. Africa and America, North America. Africa and North America. Children, we have discussed about the mountains, plateaus and the plains. In the plains, River Rhine is the most important as it flows through the several countries and empties in the North Sea. What is the meaning of empties, children? It drains. It has to join. It drains in the North Sea. And River Volga. River Volga is another important river in the Europe. It drains into the Caspian Sea. And let us now discuss about what are peninsulas, islands and bays. What is a peninsula, children? The land which is covered by three sides water and one side land is called as a peninsula. You can recall our own country. You can see here, three sides it is covered by the water. Bay of Bengal here on the east, Arabian Sea on the west and Indian Ocean in the south. And only on the northern side you find the Himalayas on the north. So this is called as a peninsula. The land which is covered by three sides of water and only one side land is called as a peninsula. Example, India. India is an example of the peninsula. Then islands. What is an island? A piece of the land which is covered by water on all sides is called as an island. Example is Sri Lanka. You can see Sri Lanka here, which is covered by water on the sides. This is called as an island. Now what are bays? Land curves inward and the mouth of the bay is usually wide. Example, Bay of Bengal. Once again, children, land curves inside and the mouth of the bay is usually wide. It is called as a bay. Example, Bay of Bengal. And what is a Gulf? Have you heard about the Gulf countries, children? What is a Gulf? A narrow inlet of the sea and has a narrow mouth is called as a Gulf countries. And once again recall, children, peninsulas, islands and bays. What is a peninsula? The land which is covered by three sides water and one side land is called as a peninsula. Islands, a piece of land which is covered by the water on all sides is called as an island. Example, Sri Lanka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep Islands, some of the islands, Honolulu Islands, all these, New Zealand Island. These are all the islands which are covered by the water on all sides. And bays, land curves inwards and the mouth of the bay is usually the wide one. And what is a Gulf, children? A narrow inlet of the sea and has a narrow mouth is called as a Gulf. Example, United Emirates, UAE, United Arab Emirates. Example of the Gulf countries. Now, let us discuss about what is the climate. How is the climate of the Europe, children? How it is the climate, children? Because as it is nearer to the Arctic Circle. How is the climate? Already we have discussed, no? What is the climate, children? How is the climate there? It is very, very cold type of climate. And already we have discussed about the mountains, snow-capped mountains like Alps, Pyrenees. These are the mountains which are covered by the snow throughout the year. And because of this cold type of climate, it is very difficult to cultivate the crops. Crops are not grown. Winters are very, very cold. And summers are also not so warm. Summers also not warm summers, not warm. So because of this frozen type of a climate, it is very difficult to grow the crops. But this is a continent which is industrially very, very well developed. Once again recall, children, the countries which support the agriculture, mostly the Asian countries support the agricultural crops. These countries which are nearer to the poles, which are in the Arctic Circle, Arctic regions, the crops doesn't grow properly because of the frozen land. For example, you take, children, for a plant to grow, what all are required for a plant to grow? Air, yes, children, water, and what, children? Sunlight. Air, water and sunlight are required for the plants to grow. But here, what is happening? No proper sunlight. Water is also in the form of the ice. It is frozen for the many months. That is the reason why this climatic conditions does not support the Europe continent for the growth of the varieties of the crops. But still 39% of the land is suitable for growing the crops. Yes, children? Any doubt? Any doubt, children? Is it clear to you all? Yes. Once again, let us go to these mountains. Because of the mountains that stretch from the east to west and north to south, it is very difficult for the traveling. Transportation facilities are very, very low here. They have to spend a lot of money in order to travel from one place to another place. Nowadays it is much advanced, where tunnels have been dug and trains are connected, railways are connected, rails are connected from the one part to the other part, and the European government is spending a lot in order to connect a very fastest means of the transportation. Why? Because it is very difficult for the roadways to move from one place to another place, because it is occupied by the mountainous regions for a longer and longer kilometers. So this is the reason why it has to spend a lot of amount on the transportation facilities. Now let us know about the winds that blow, children. Winds which blow from the Atlantic Ocean all round the year is called as an westerlies. Since they blow from the west, they are called as an westerlies. They are named as westerlies. Now let us recall what are the movements of the water, children. Movements of the oceans. What are the movements of the oceans? Waves, currents and the tides. What are the waves? Waves are to some extent very low. They will come very low, at a very low height. They will rise and fall. Again they come back. These are called as waves. And what are currents? The movement of the water. For kilometers to kilometers, this water will be moving in a stretch is called as currents. These currents are of two types once again. Warm currents and cold currents. Warm currents, the examples of the warm currents are Gulf streams and also the North American Swift is another example. These are the warm currents. And Cold currents. Cold currents is not given in a book actually. Chinku. Chinku is one of the name of the cold current. Mistral. Lulu. These are the names of the cold currents. Tides. You might have read in the past classes, children. What are tides? The rise and fall of the water twice a day is called as a tide. And these tides are once again two types: high tides and neap tides. High tides are high during the times of the new moon day and full moon day. That is the reason why the fishermen are warned not to enter into the seas and the oceans on these particular dates, because the attraction of the moon and the sun will be more on these tides. So, neap tides are very, very low tides. These are called as an high tides and these are called as an neap tides. But there are many uses of the tides. It helps in fishing. It helps in navigation. It brings the silt. Fertility of the silt is being brought from the middle of the seas or the oceans to the shores. There are many uses where the fuel is also saved. When the ship is traveling, the fuel is also saved because of the tides. So let us recall, children, the movements of the oceans. Oceanic waters are divided into three: waves, currents and the tides. And what currents are of once again two types: warm currents and cold currents. And tides, high tides and neap tides. We are going to learn about the climate of the Europe. The other type of the climate is, already we have read about it is very, very cold type of the climate. But we are going to read about the Mediterranean type of the climate in the next class. Discovery of the sea routes and the industrial development in the next class, children. And go through the PDF and the pictures which are given. Your mapping skills are, you have to mark the Europe in the world map and go through the Europe map from the textbook. You can see the different countries which are there: Norway, Sweden, Netherlands. Mark all these countries. Thank you, children.